What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm up 0.1 units. 0.1 units on the morning. And now we got the afternoon and evening. Well, I guess only the evening going here. Afternoon, I didn't have anything on Atlanta, San Francisco. And then as we're talking tonight, I ended up on that under of 2.5 earned runs for Mr. Bradford. We'll see how that pans out. But then also Josh Young home run. Young like a horse. J-U-N-G could be in it. We have 14 games on the slate here on Friday. Producer Jacob is excited. I'm excited. If you're at Pennsylvania, you're going to be excited about this. This little thing, this box, whoop, Pennsylvania. We get bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets and $50 spin, or not $50, 50 spins in the old virtual slot machines there at Bet365. A great opportunity to build and sustain that bankroll. You simply go to the link below, bet 5, get 150 in bet credits. I'll talk about it later, of course, but Pennsylvania just got it. It's available in Arizona. It's available in New Jersey. It's available in a lot of great states, Iowa as well. So check it out. Only for 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But thank you to Gavin Lux, plus 210. Gavin Lux, plus 210. That was nice. On the old RBI, we got that after tilting my face off when we didn't get it there. Ironically enough, just going to be... We got a lot to get to here on this card. We're going to go play to start it off, too, which I don't think I've seen yet this year, but I have a lot of bets in play already. Producer Jacob's excited. Let's get to the picks. Right. Hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson might say in the lovely film Jurassic Park. But producer Jacob thinks I hate movies, but whatever. Yair Rodriguez going up against Kyle Hendricks. It is what it is. This is kind of a pitching mismatch. And I would say for Toronto, Vlad Guerrero Jr., he's been your bright spot, but your second bright spot, your unexpected bright spot, Yariel Rodriguez. This guy's been good. 4.5% barrel percentage, 352 expected slugging, 24.3% K rate. He does occasionally walk too many men. Many men for you. Kyle Hendricks on the other side. Hopefully he gets bagged in this one. 281 expected batting average, 342 xWOBA. I just like this right off the bat. And you know what's ironic about the beginning of this card? I didn't even realize this until I'm looking at all of my spreadsheet stuff. Plus 100. Plus 100, plus 100, plus 100. All four of these right in a row are plus 100 here at open. That's where I got this Toronto money line. I would be betting this minus 105 or better. Minus 105, the prevailing number right now. This opened at plus 103. It's already gotten bet. A lot of these places, I didn't get plus 103, but even money, Toronto money line, just Kyle Hendricks, the better pitcher. First 5, not available yet, so I'll take a look at that tomorrow too. Kansas City and Cincinnati here in this one. Michael Lorenzen and Nick Martinez. Now, I'm not super enthusiastic. I've been talking about this for a while with Michael Lorenzen, who was with Texas, yes, and now he is pitching for Kansas City. I'm ready for football. 4.75 expected ERA next to his 3.79 ERA. What does that mean when you're nearly a run different? Means you've been running really good. A little bit of sun running action, almost like Ben's best bets, where that guy just keeps winning shit for me. That's the beautiful thing about the OS marketplace. I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But my good friend Ben Raza, just on an insane heater in the soccer streaks. I love them. And the baseball streaks. I've been tailing them on a couple. But Michael Lorenzen and Mr. Martinez in this one. Nick Martinez, way better. 269 xWOBA, 29.6% hard hit. But Michael Lorenzen, let's pick on him a little bit here. 17.9% K rate. And I was surprised to see this number at, wouldn't you know it, even money at Caesars.com, or the Caesars app. Caesars! We got even money on over 1.5 total bases for Tyler Stevenson, batting third routinely, 44.1% hard hit, 427 expected slugging, and getting this guy, Michael Lorenzen, with his 8.3% barrel percentage. I know it's a small ballpark, but I don't love the home run number as I was looking at it here at open. But total bases, I do. Again, it's so weird to me. Sometimes people are like, oh, I took your home run play and I took it down to total bases. Well, the line could be completely different, and I might like one and not the other. Every play is its own individual entity. Even money for Tyler Stevenson. Gotta like that. Garrett Cole versus a big, giant question mark. Who is that question mark, you might ask? Because Detroit talked about it. They ended up doing that piggyback thing. 1-2-1 again. Another 8th inning collapse by Seattle. I ended up on a small Seattle play. That's why I had leaned that direction yesterday, and it absolutely sucked because I woke up in the morning, the line moved a tiny bit, and I'm like, you got to play Seattle now. And up 1-0. Of course, it's Javi Baez 2-run homer that ends up sinking the old ship too. Holy shit. The Black Pearl. You best start believing in ghost stories, Mr. Turner. You're in one. Justin Turner win this game, that'd be one thing. But he's not. He does not play for the Yankees. He was in the game against Detroit. That's why I brought it. If I have to explain jokes this much, it's not very funny. But let's go to a market that I don't go into very, very often, but it's just something that I got in a debate with one of my buddies about, where he's like, oh, Eric, you're only betting guys who have been hitting lots of home runs for these walks in this market. No. I do think that there's something to be said about a player that goes out and torches in the first game of a series. You get to the second game of the series and you get in a high leverage spot. They might try to pitch around and be a little crafty, but don't you have to pitch around Aaron Judge all the live long day? I feel like you do. Now, Aaron Judge, when you look at his doubles and his triples, which again is always like plus 2,000, like everybody in the triples market, it's an unbettable market. Don't go into it. That's not what I'm recommending. What I'm saying is that your things that aren't singles and aren't walks, okay, you're adding them all up here. But I look at the singles specifically, and this is something that we're starting to see from a lot of starting pitchers, especially this Herder character, who I think is the guy who is going to be the starter, a lefty out there. Against lefties, we're seeing Aaron Judge ever so slightly see more singles in play. Not necessarily get... You got to pitch around Aaron Judge. He's one of the best hitters in baseball, if not like iconically. He just hit his 300th home run. The guy's absolutely on another planet. And sure, it's going to feel silly when he hits a bunch of doubles and makes you just nothing on this because he has 43 home runs and the chances of him hitting the ball really, really hard are high. But I do think we're talking about even money on a single. And it's looking pretty good. It's grading out as positive EV. For me, I would be betting this up to -110. Aaron Judge to single. I don't think I've ever had one in 3 years of doing this program. I don't think I've ever had one of these on the card. Producer Jacob, can you remember it? This is the beautiful part about this show, is that I am updating all of the odds in real time. Odd Chopper is very, very helpful in that regard. And I'm outsourcing it and I am running it up against my projections. And I don't know. Did you enjoy the Gavin Lux RBI 2 of the last 3 days? I sure did. Bases loaded. Couldn't get it done in that first and then gets pulled out for Miguel Rojas. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. Yeah, so now we've moved on to another play because, again, we're going to the props. And trust me, I will have some plays coming up for you later. I'll tell you my leans as we talk through everything. Anyway, we've got the Seattle Mariners. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this is a very fascinating storyline that we have to cover here because I don't go to the futures market a whole heck of a lot. My friend Greg Ehrenberg, one of the best futures bettors that I know here on the Odd Chopper channel, I would be paying very close attention to his twitter.com/x/ whatever Elon calls it these days. But because this is a wild one, and I had a long discussion with him about this the other day. Paul Skeens, we've seen the odds collapse over on FanDuel where, you know, I get most of my futures action. It's now Jackson Merrill versus Paul Skeens for Rookie of the Year, and Jackson Merrill's made a gigantic push for. And now you're getting the Seattle Mariners, who we know strike out a ton against righties. 8.5 is opening K-prop. You're absolutely asinine stuff. I'm not going anywhere near that. But I want to point out the 1.5 earned runs here because Paul Skeens, I do think if this gets lopsided in some way, shape, or form, Pittsburgh, they're starting to fall by the wayside. And I got to think they're going to maybe limit his innings unless this is something that really matters to Paul Skeens. If this award, being Rookie of the Year, really matters to him. If not, you start putting him on bubble wrap, having him pitch 90, 95 pitches. But there's one marketplace where if that is the case, that you can kind of take advantage of that in a situation like this where you think he's going to have success like I do. I can't go near the strikeouts, but I can go near the under 1.5 earned runs allowed. That was perfect timing by producer Jacob. Boom. Boom, tough actin' Tinactin, Miss John Madden. And before we get to the next play here, where Bet365 is where you can find the best available line. And ironically enough, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia is located, and that's the game I'm going to cover. And you just got $150 in bonus bets and 50 spins on the old virtual slot machine just by going down to the link below, betting $5 on anything. And that's what you're going to get from Bet365. That's an unbelievable deal. It's also available in a ton of other states now. Bet365, one of the most reputable sports books here in the United States and worldwide. Prestige worldwide. Wide. Bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets. Boom. I've done that bit already. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. we head to Washington and Philly round 2 fight. Now, they're just completely destroying the souls here. Yeah. The Washington is getting their souls depleted here. Mitchell Parker get just annihilated here in this spot. 9-0 at the moment, and or 9-1, sorry. Kyber Ruiz hit that home run, but Zach Wheeler, phenomenal spot there. And now we're getting Aaron Nola in our lives going up against Mr. Patrick Corbin. And if you've seen this program before, you know my feelings about Patrick Corbin. They are bad feelings. Actually, they're good when he shows up on slates because I can generally find something that I like to bet. And this is very, very straightforward. Bet 365. You bet 5, you get 150 in bet credits, only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But it's available in Pennsylvania now. That is the big selling point of this entire thing, is this is your Philadelphia Phillies. And minus 270, that doesn't look great, but minus 120 to me with a team that just rested Trey Turner, gave him a maintenance day there on Wednesday, brought him back on Thursday, and looked awesome right from the get-go here. Ooh, we've got a really good baseball team and a really good lineup going up against Patrick Corbin and company. Now, you're going to have a perfectly intact Washington bullpen at the top of it, the guys who matter if this line is ever in doubt. So there is that. That's not ideal because there's some enough okay arms there in that Washington pen that can make a difference. But Philadelphia, despite their bullpen struggles here of late, Washington doesn't bring a whole hell of a lot to the table here to really go up against Mr. Aaron Nola and make me feel in any way, shape, or form in discomfort here with this play. Washington, a 97 WRC plus, a little bit worse here since the trade deadline, bringing up a lot of young pieces, testing them out, because why wouldn't you at this point in time? A lot of their prospects, that's kind of the time of the season that we're at here now. But if you get Trey Turner and Alec Boehm and JT Realmuto, who we're still kind of waiting for the world to change on, I think we got an opportunity to really buy low at minus 120 at bet 365 on the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I had to play this at minus 125, and it is still a lock for me at that number. But again, because we had good juju with this the other day, I'm at least going to throw it into the atmosphere. You have the like opportunity. You don't have to you don't have to lock everything with me when it's my favorite play. That is not, when I say lock, I'm saying it kind of facetiously. I hope you understand that at this point. There's no such thing as a lock, but this is my favorite play on the board in the totals and spreads and everything market that we are looking at here. I have a ton of props on the card. We've talked through a ton of them, but one unit for me on Philadelphia on the run line, running it back. Well, actually, I wish I'd ran it out on Thursday. So running it out for the first time, Philly gets it done on the run line against Pep. Come on. Ryan Nelson and Ryan Pepio up next here in this one. And now we start pumping the brakes a little bit, although this does grade out as 1.5% expected. I have the fair line closer to like minus 110 here on the Arizona side. So there's a little bit of an edge if you really want to go for it. The best I have available to me is minus 105. So again, that's 1.5% expected value that I'm basically looking at. I kept it off the card because I have tons of profit exposure already with some of these open numbers. But Ryan Pepio, I'm also not trying to pick on. It's just that Arizona's been out of control against right-handed pitching. And part of that is Corbin Carroll just figuring out his life. And Jock Peterson, very good at hitting of the baseballs, using of the Rogaine. Check. I really should just watch The Hangover tonight. Do not talk to me. You do not exist. So we're the three best friends that anyone could have. Ryan Nelson isn't very good, but yet I'm still looking at the Arizona money line here as an intriguing back. But I'm going to call it a lean for now. I will readdress this one tomorrow, though. I could have just said address. I don't know why I had to say readdress, but whatever. Corbin Burns, we're going to address his situation. It's tough taking on a Boston team, and now we're seeing lefty power. Again, you had Gunnar Henderson go yard, Will Abreu go yard, somebody else went yard. Oh, Cedric Mullins went yard. Congrats to EMAC. I saw him in the chat talking about that on the fantasy show. So anyway, we got Corbin Burns on the mound. He's been pretty fantastic for these Baltimore Orioles. He's a pretty fantastic pitcher, 30.6% hard hit, limits the barrels, 362 expected slugging as well, 23% K rate across the board, looking really, really nifty. Now, who ends up getting rolled out here for Boston? I think Cooper Criswell joins the party. Now, James Paxton gets DFA'd by the Dodgers, then gets picked up by the Red Sox, and then hurts his calf and sounds like he's going to be out for the season. That sucks for him, probably not for the Red Sox because he's not very good, and that's your fifth start. But Cooper Criswell gets off the COVID list here, and I think he's going to end up getting the start in this one. That's an interesting guy to be firing up some home runs against. Anthony Santander, the guy that I think, based on some previous numbers here, I expect Gunnar Henderson's number to move up a little bit coming off of back-to-back home runs. Sometimes you got to buy in when they're buying lows against the Josh Young thing. Hopefully we can get something from him there. That would be very, very, very useful. Saw Castro hit a home run, then Farmer tripled, and just a lot of weird stuff. It's 2-2 already in that game. What the hell? Oh, I'm talking my Twins. It doesn't matter. This game, we're just looking at Santander to home run here. Anything better than plus 340 will be on the card. We're looking for lefty power in some capacity. Switch hitter, Anthony Santander. Cooper Criswell, not somebody to go crazy out of your way to pick on. Against lefties, 122 expected ISO. But Santander, this really has to do with what the price and probability is. He's got a 233 expected ISO against righties on the season. He's really good. Speaking of good lately, because... Again, you use the old 14 or 30-day sample size. Looks a lot better than using the year-long sample size. Of course, it's Jake Burger and Fries. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the time to utilize him here. Happy that he didn't go yard the last couple because I thought we'd be able to buy back in on some of the improvements that he's made. And I don't think Miami is very good. I don't think you think that. I don't think I think that. 253 batting average, though, for Jake Burger. Starting to get the ball in play a lot. In fact, he's had a hit in, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games consecutively here for Jake Burger. If he's getting the ball on, getting the bat on the ball, or I guess it'd be the other way around too, 48.5% hard hit looks nifty. Nearly 13-degree launch angle against a lefty in Sean Manaea, who gives up fly balls. 36.5% ground ball rate is not good. 28.4% fly ball percentage. Don't know why I can't just read the shit that's on my spreadsheet. Whatever. We're just looking at Jake Burger here, better than plus 320. Better than plus 320. Jake Burger is on the card. So got a couple of home runs. I've got one more that we'll cover a little bit later. That's a total basis play, but it could very well be a home run play later in that Anaheim spot. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm done talking about. I don't want to talk about Munoz. He's going to get torched. My Minnesota Twins, and I will say Simeon Woods Richardson, every time that I update my sheets, I'm just surprised to see him like ascending it. He's just slowly amongst the starting pitchers that are out there today, improving in so many different dynamics. One of them is not with ground balls, and that's a little bit of an issue, and we'll talk about that. But Simeon Woods Richardson, Andrew Heaney on the other side. Andrew Heaney is southpaw, nearly, what, 427 expected slugging, 40.3% hard hit. He gives up that hard contact, and yeah, you've got some righties that can cause some damage. But Byron Buxton on the 10-day IL, really bad timing, as he was really getting it going here over the course of the last couple of weeks. So it's almost like God hates Minnesota sports, huh? You heard me about it enough yesterday. Let's just look at Minnesota money line here going up against, Simeon Woods Richardson, Andrew Heaney. I almost said the other guy, but it doesn't matter. Southpaws we don't want. We want this, though, friends. 50% off the marketplace. The Odd Shopper marketplace is now live. Look at that. I can read the sheet. 50% off, though, for that first week or your first month when you use promo code Lindy50. Lindy50 down at the link below. You want to get my daily picks? You want to get my premium Discord? You want to get everything at your disposal? Well, friends, I can give that to you right now. Again, it's $9.95 for your first week by signing up down below, or $24.95 for your first month with Lindy50. It would be awesome to see you guys hanging out in that premium Discord this weekend. I will be hanging out there. I will be updating bets on Saturday, Sunday. Absolutely love to see it. Great stuff by our OS team. The dev team made it possible for me to get you the plays faster, easier, more efficiently with push notifications and everything else. It's going to be good times, friends. And you got some other great insiders to check out over there as well. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. There's vomit on his sweater already. Spencer Arrighetti taking on Garrett Crochet. Now, Garrett Crochet, oh, it's so frustrating when this starts happening this time of year. Talked about it a little bit with Paul Skeens. I didn't make any adjustments to Paul Skeens for what it's worth. Just knowing that there's the extra outs, maybe a shorter stint. It's one thing, but Garrett Crochet, here are his last 4 starts. 74 pitches, 64 pitches, 77 pitches, 67 pitches. Basically, the White Sox looked at the betting odds. They said, oh, Garrett Crochet can't win the Cy Young. That Tariq Skubal is running away with that thing. Well, Here's what they did. They limited his pitch counts, and that's what you could be seeing happen to a lot of studs on uncompetitive teams. And that's exactly what the White Sox are. Already eliminated from winning the AL Central. Aw. August 15th, 16th tomorrow. 16th when you hear this. Probably, well, some of you hear this on the 15th. Anyway, we got Garrett Crochet. We can't really do anything with these numbers. They're so hard to get a grip on when he's going to pitch deeper into games and when he won't. And more than likely, just put him in for 74 pitches, and I can't go above it, can't go below it. K stuff looks pretty, it's going to be pretty tough to bet going forward. Looking at maybe shorting a couple of spots. But Spencer Arrighetti, this is somebody I don't want to short because they need him to be exceptional. With all the injuries that they've had to this pitching staff, I know a 5.14 ERA and a 1.45 whip don't look very good, but how about this? Against Tampa and Boston, his last two, 12 and 13 Ks. Now, we did buy in on one of those. That was fun. That was fun. We also had that chaos as a ladder against Colorado a long time ago in a galaxy far away on the 26th of what month was that? I have that listed wrong, I think. Yeah, it had to have been June. Had to have been June. 26th of June. Yeah, there we go. All right, Spencer Arrighetti. So we're going to be looking at backing him again here. I just nervous. Coming off of 12 and 13, it's not like the books don't know. Maybe they open this at 7.5, and I'm just simply betting his K prop. That is something that is in play here. I want better than minus 125, but I doubt we get that. Anyway, I'm looking at laddering this, maybe laddering it up to 9-10. The guy is on another stratosphere with the strikeout stuff right now, and you can see it. The velocity's a tick up. Everything's fully operational Death Star, and it's the White Sox. Yo, how we doing this fine day? Cleveland at Milwaukee. Gavin Williams, Aaron Savale. I hate how efficient this line is. I hate how efficient this line is. I hate how efficient this line is. I'm going to pass and save my time for the next game. Roll tape. All right, wanted to spend some time on this one, mainly because people have been asking me, Eric, how did Gavin Lux end up on the call? Let's talk through this one because, again, plus 210, ridiculous number. Now the Dodgers are going to be heading to St. Louis. 9th inning bump yet again for them, meaning just they're the road team, and they're a team that wins a lot of baseball games. So when they're the favorite, it's always nice to know that you have that 9th inning buffer because they're getting those at-bats. Whereas if they're at home and they're winning a lot of games, you're not getting those 9th inning at-bats. It can make a little bit of an adjustment that you have to go in terms of projecting out run lines, projecting out batter props. It is what it is. But in this spot, get to play it pretty darn straight up, and I think straight up. Will Smith got that maintenance day Wednesday that kind of screwed me over, even though Gavin Lux had 2 shots at it. Hit a double that could have gotten Freddie Freeman in as well. Whatever, plus 185, didn't get that. We got some of that money back with plus 210 today on Thursday, and basically here's the process of it. I think sometimes when you see new batters inserted into a lineup, you see some of those numbers tainted. You see Mookie Betts back in our lives. He ended up getting a maintenance day here on Thursday. They end up losing a baseball game. It was a little bit of a disaster for them, but they want to be careful with him coming back because the Dodgers, even with Arizona breathing down their neck, with the Padres now breathing down their neck too, they want to make sure that their star coveted player for the next however many years is well taken care of. So I totally understand part of that here, but Gavin Lux is just batting fifth, and they want to go left, right, left at the top of that lineup. It really matters who is in front of you, and it matters who's the starting pitcher and the bullpen, and we can do a lot of that. But knowing that you're going to be sandwiched between Teoscar Hernandez, batting fourth, batting cleanup there, and sandwiched between Will Smith, protects you against a lot of lefties getting called in here. So more than likely going to see extra righties going forward. He still got pinch hit for by Miguel Rojas 2 days ago, which just was so unbelievably tilting, but got the plus 210, and I think anything better than plus 180 will be on the card yet again tomorrow, but we'll take a look at that again tomorrow. I'm looking at a team total ladder because Miles Michaelis is absolute dog crapo, and the Dodgers on the run line are plus 118, and I do think despite that utter collapse the last 2 days against the Brewers, this is still a team that we want to be invested in. Happy that I didn't pull the trigger on them Thursday when I saw that Mookie was not in that lineup. Gavin Lux, thank you for being a goat, though. San Diego, Colorado for this one. Yeah, Matt Waldron, I love you, but knuckleballs at altitude, we shall see. Cal Quantrill on the other side of this one. I will say I had to try to find like Tim Wakefield and some other guys. I was going back through the knuckleball archives Trying to see if there were any Colorado starts to be able to see spin rates. Nothing on Baseball Savant. Had a couple of spots where I could find this and that with a baseball bat. But Matt Waldron, I really don't know how it's going to play. But when I'm kind of stuck in the middle there, and he's been struggling as is with any pitch that isn't that knuckleball. And then also you have to locate it. And Colorado have been okay against righties here of late. I think I like the total here. Cal Quantrill's an absolute gas can at this point in time. Heading back into just absolute pain and suffering personified for him at altitude. 268 expected batting average, 17.4% K rate, working through some of his stuff. I mean, it's kind of what you see with every single one of these Colorado starters is you see better stuff for away games, but he's been a weird outlier where it's what, 1.39 whip, 3.95 ERA at home, 5.10 ERA on the road. Cal Quantrill just isn't good ever, so that's part of it. So over 11, I like it, but I'm going to keep it off the card here for now. I want to pay attention, and I want to see if I can get more Matt Waldron data. Knuckleball data. It's knuckleball time. Braves and Angels. This rounds out our lovely program, and I do have a play for all of you people who have been, oh, Eric, you didn't give me enough sides and totals. Talk through a lot of them. I gave you Philly as a lock. That'll be fun. Can't wait to let that ruin my weekend. But anywho, our last spot here on the card. Interesting little one as we go to Mr. Schwellenbach, Schweddy Balls himself, and Mr. Jose Soriano himself. He's got that split finger that I do like, but everything else is pretty garbage. Does have an extreme ground ball rate, and I think that this is kind of what I wanted to point out. I don't know where the books open Matt Olson's home run numbers here. This game was later on in the afternoon, played up in San Francisco, but this is a drastically better hitting environment going into Anaheim. Winds blowing out. Want to see some of these numbers for Jose Soriano, or not Jose Soriano. Want to see where some of the books list this. And I'm just going to keep it as total basis for now as a lean, but I like the money line here straight up. Schwellenbach's been the best pitcher of this staff, not named Chris Sale, which is, you know, kind of like saying you're the best prophet, not named Jesus. Like, Jesus is way better than you, but I think that kind of made sense. I don't know. It's like politics and religion. Two things I should never talk about here on this program. Sound great? Cool. Atlanta money line, nothing to see here. Just do that. And then Matt Olson, 1.5 total basis. Those better than plus 125. Okay, goodbye. And that does it for, oh, you want to say goodbye to everybody? Is that what you want to do? Oh, come here. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board here for this lovely Friday slate that we have before us. See, I had a new shiny thing. Had to bring the puppy up. Yeah, nothing to see here. Anywho, thank you, producer Jacob. Another great week in the books. It was back and forth here, but we ended up coming out of it all right. We got a lock on the board. Woo! Don't know what to do with my hands. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Friday.